Hey guys, what's happening? This is Joe DI, and this is a special edition live Monday Minute. Today, we're going to be talking about the Getup. The Getup is an awesome exercise for obstacle racing and health in general. It's an exercise that I love using with our pro and top athletes because it combines flexibility, coordination, and strength just like our races do. So here's how it goes. I'm going to be using a Spartan pancake today. You guys can use a kettlebell or any other type of implement you choose, as long as you follow a few simple rules. I'm going to toss my sunglasses on just in case this pancake leaks any sand. So, the first thing about a Getup is you want the weight barreling straight down. If you're using a dumbbell, you don't want to hold it so that there's weight on either side, because that can pull me this way or that way and lead to injury. So what we want to do is hold the weight like this so that it's barreling down and I can drive it straight up, okay? If you are using a dumbbell, what I would do is actually put the handle in between your thumb and your first finger and palm the bottom side of the dumbbell end. Now, let's get our pancake here. And what we're gonna do first, and we're gonna break this down. I'm gonna demo one and then we're gonna break it down. So from this position, we're gonna kind of be in a star position. I am weighting this foot and I'm weighting this elbow into the ground. I'm gonna pull this elbow underneath me as I push myself with that foot so that I'm on my elbow, always keeping a tall chest and my shoulder and ear as far away as possible. In other words, I don't wanna crunch. All right, from here, I'm gonna plant my hand and push myself straight up to this position. Now, this is where it gets tough. This is where the yoga comes in. All right, what we're gonna do is pick our body up and get that left knee underneath us. Now we're in this strong, stable position. From here, we're gonna stand up to a kneeling position and finally into a tall standing position. From here, left leg back if we're using our right arm, and we're gonna do the exact opposite. Swivel that foot, reach it down. Pull that leg through, drop to the elbow, keep that elbow, that shoulder and ear away from each other, and push yourself away. And that's one. Then we would do the other side. Now, to learn this movement, there's a lot of steps we can take. If you're feeling ready or you've done this before and you just want to tailor your confidence or your ability, it's always good to find a shoe if you can. Now, what the shoe is going to teach you, if I use the weight and it pulls me this way, my rotator cuff and my shoulders are fighting an unnecessary fight, right? So balance and having the ability to drive straight up is key. How we use the shoe then is we balance it on our hand. And I know I'm ready to use weight when I can do 3 or 4 reps balancing the shoe straight overhead in a windy city. Get back, drive it down, elbow and down. All right, do one more on the left just to make sure. Drive to the elbow, plant the hand and reach. My arm is staying straight up and down. I'm gonna bring this right knee directly underneath me. As I get heavier in weight, this is a very stable position and we really wanna tighten up, and so we can do that side bend into this position. Stand straight up. Swivel the foot. Reach. Pull through to the elbow. Most important part right here. It's easy at the end of the rep to want to crunch. Don't do it. Push yourself away. And slowly bring that weight down. All right, let's take a few questions. I know you guys are probably asking a couple of them. All right. Who throws a shoe? I agree. Oh, pretty sure the shoe proves I'm not ready yet. Absolutely. And you know, in fitness, it's a common issue to go too heavy or progress too quickly. The shoe does not lie. Use a cup of water to practice. Hey, that'll teach you. You drop a cup of water on you once or twice. That'll teach you how to stay stable. What else? Let's see here. What's up, Jaden Patterson? All right. Jennifer loves Turkish get-ups. Go heavy or go home. but do the shoe first. I like going heavy as much as the next guy. All right, cool. Let's show you guys how to break this down. Now, let me turn that back around. So, as you guys are learning, don't try to learn this movement all at once. You want to break it up because each section, each portion of this rep is kind of its own exercise. This is very complicated. All right, so what I would recommend is that for a couple of weeks, if you've never done a Getup before, for a couple of weeks, you're practicing with the shoe or maybe without the shoe, and really you're practicing getting onto that elbow and then pushing away. Or maybe you're going to the elbow, then the hand, and then reversing directions, because that is where the Getup is born. That's gonna decide if it's a successful rep or not. As you get up in weight, this is the most important, the very beginning and the very end. So really hammer it. You might do 10 or 15 on each side as a warm-up before you're training. So, let's say this is week 1 and 2, 5 on each side. All right, week 3 and 4 might be elbow, hand, knee underneath me. Back to the elbow, back to the floor. Elbow, hand, knee underneath me. I might do this for another couple of weeks. Then finally, elbow, hand, knee underneath me, tall kneeling, stand. All right, guys, that's your Monday Minute with the Turkish Getup. Let me see if there's a few more questions, and hopefully you guys can start doing what some have called loaded yoga. I'll tell the ambulance to quiet down. You got it, Brian. James Dean, is there an advantage to using a sandbag or kettlebell versus a dumbbell? So it depends on your goals, right? With Spartan Race, we love grip, right? And so when I use a pancake, it might be a little bit lighter than I would use with a kettlebell, but I'm using a lot more grip strength. So if that needs to be my focus, if I'm falling off the monkey bars, then yeah, maybe use a pancake and really hammer that grip. It's also a good limiter if you're just learning to go a little lighter and focus on grip, because you're not using as much weight if you do kind of waver in the shoulder. But the kettlebell, as you go heavier, is kind of the best tool for the job, because you can really, once you get really good at this, you can handle quite a bit of weight. Lorenzo, I agree. Great exercise. Jessica Bozick, what muscles is this working? So this is a total body strength and coordination exercise. Some have called it weighted yoga or loaded yoga. It really hits your whole body, and it's, you know, I don't like to use the term, I think it's a little overused, but it's an extremely functional exercise. It teaches your body how to use itself as one piece and one unit. Jake Richards, no ants in the grass. There might be a couple, but might be a couple. Thanks for the breakdown. Sure thing, Amanda. James, thanks. Let's see, always twist the side on the elbow to the hand movement. Alexis, I'm not quite sure of the question. Corey, the best way to lose stomach fat. Abs are made in the kitchen. How many should you do on each side? Rena, great question. So, you can do, I prefer to do these lower repetition with really high quality. That doesn't mean you can't do higher reps, but I would say focus on 6 to 10 max on each side. As you get to heavier weights, you might do as few as 1 to 3 on each side. Jason, lighter, heavy, no weight or with weight. Learn with the shoe. Because technique, it's really easy. What'll happen if you progress to weight too quickly, you'll get to a weight that you can never surpass. And that's because you didn't build that patterning to really get the body working as one piece. The shoe, if you can do 5 on each side while balancing the shoe, you're gonna be ready to go heavy. But if you skip that step, you're gonna plateau pretty quickly. How many calories? Not counting calories with Getups. How many times a week is good for the body? Lisa, great question. So depending on where you're at, if you're using the shoe and you're trying to build that pattern, you know, wise people have said, if you want to get good at something, do it every day. If you're not doing this with weight yet and you're practicing with the shoe, it's like practicing the piano. Practice every single day. What's a good pre-workout? I mean, I don't know if you're asking about supplements or exercises, but I would say bear crawls, jumping jacks, maybe a couple of easy burpees, and a couple get-ups on each side is a great workout. In terms of a pre-workout, the most important thing is getting out and exercise and doing something. Don't worry about it. Don't eat a huge meal, but don't worry about pre-workout supplements and things like that. All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. That's about all the questions here. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to this special edition Monday Minute. We'll see you next week. AROO.